I'd like to introduce you all to the Redbrand Ruffians.
Anyone with a decent sword skill is out.
Do y'all think they're doing that to try and clean out the town, take over it?
You see a mage actually standing on top of the table, cast fireball. 2 missiles shoot out of his right arm. 1 shoots out of his left arm.
I lay my hands on the dark energy come out.
See this energy just eat him completely out from the outside in. Very ornately crafted. It looks like almost just a long rod with a scepter on the end of it. Radgar and Areva lay their hands on it at the same exact time. You try to kind of twist it in a creative way, but she actually does just yank it out of your hand. Everybody spends the rest of the night getting completely obliterated. The next morning, Areva, you wake up in the large orchard off of the town square, hands full of a very itchy, height-inducing plant. First, you wake up in your own bed, curled up next to Felix. Radgar, you wake up in a general goods store surrounded by a fort of carefully balanced cards. And that would be Barthen's Provisions, by the way. Ball,
You wake up next to her.
yeah, Ball, Ray was there too.
We both have hides.
You wake up in the ditch having won a pretty serious fight the night before. Marcon, last but
I
not
was
least.
impressed.
Wake up
That'd be for
in the
anyone.
tavern dining room, dressed in finery, just as you're joined for tea.
Perfect.
By
The elf.
You woke up in Barthen's Provisions and just kind of surrounded by all these different goods and stuff. Just as you start to wake up outside, you can kind of hear. And then very soon you see the door swing open and like kind of you turn away from the light. You see Elmar Barthen, the man who owns the store, and 2 Redbrands standing in the doorway. And Elmar says, "There he is, boys. Damn soldiers think they can do whatever the hell they want. This is my shop, you hear?"
Yeah, it's your shop. I don't know how I got here.
I'll tell you how. Using your liver, that's how. The 2 Redbrands kind of move in on you. And the one to your left says, "You're under arrest on charges of breaking and entering, disorderly conduct, and murder. Please state your name for the record."
Murder? Hold up once.
The other Redbrand says, "State your name for the record."
Okay.
They kind of look at each other with a weird look in their eyes. Peter.
Peter.
Do you have a last name,
No.
Peter?
I'm a bastard.
Disarm yourself and come with us.
Listen here. I apologize for this and I'll pay for it. But what I have to go to you for?
You're under arrest.
For what?
Breaking and entering, disorderly conduct, and murder.
Murder. Can we just go over this?
Several witnesses spotted you at Stonehill Inn. You and several accomplices attacked an unarmed man.
First of all, were you there?
It doesn't matter.
He wasn't unarmed. And he provoked us.
We didn't find a weapon on the body.
Well, that doesn't matter. You know magic? You know people that go with their hands?
They both just leap at you, arms out on either side of you. And you do manage to just get away right before they kind of collide in the middle and start to.
Wait, hey, well, hold on. I will come with you and we'll figure this out. There's no need for the hostility. There's no need. I'm willing to comply, but there's no arresting. And
If you're willing to comply, you'll need to be blindfolded and restrained.
listen, I'm willing to do whatever you ask, and we'll get down to the bottom of this. But you're not putting a blindfold on me.
It's not up to you.
No, who's it up to then?
They both leap at you again, and you try to jump out of the way, but this time they're both able to grab you and just kind of wrestle you to the ground.
Okay, I go. Whatever, put the blindfold on. God damn it.
So they blindfold you, pull your arms behind your back, and tie
Listen,
them.
I'm gonna have a long talk with Tempest about this when I get out of here. You guys better watch yourself.
As you're being escorted out, you can tell they kind of pull you off to the right, and you walk for a while. You can't tell where you're going, but just from what you hear around you, you hear kind of just the general hum of the town start to fade away. You hear the sounds of wilderness for a while, and eventually you take a step, and you can tell you're stepping on solid stone. It's kind of echoing around you. Continue on this way for about another 15 minutes or so, until finally you can tell that whatever tunnel you were in just kind of widened open into a much larger room. You walk around a few corners until eventually you feel yourself just shoved onto the ground. And as soon as you do, you kind of manage to wiggle the blindfold off of yourself just as a cell door is closed.
I didn't like the broken dagger that's in my boot that I carry around. Did they get that?
Yeah, you wake up in a ditch and you feel yourself off balance because you're laying on one side of this ditch. Just as you push yourself off, you realize you're just off the side of the town square. Approaching you is the townmaster Harbin Wester and 2 Redbrands. And you see them kind of just across the town square. So you quickly kind of stand up, start brushing yourself off. The townmaster is the first one to speak. He says, "Please state your name for the record, dwarf."
Forge. Or Fire Forge.
Rough night last night, I assume.
I had a little bit to drink.
Got into some things I hear.
Nah, just drinking for me.
Several accounts tell us that you were being very disorderly around town, assaulted a man, and even murdered him, actually. So, in that case, you're going to be under arrest. We're going to need you to come with us.
No. No, I'm sent here to protect this place. Why would I try and kill someone?
Since by who?
I'm sent by Neverwinter.
He kind of looks back and forth at both of the guards.
However, I do remember hearing something about a commotion last night in my drunken stupor. But I wasn't a part of it, but I can help figure out what's going on if you want.
Very well. Come back to me with my haul, and I think we'll be able to figure this out.
All right, yeah. I'll meet you wherever you need to go.
And with that, he ushers you into the townmaster's hall. You immediately you kind of look at someone next to you. It's the drow. What's your reaction?
I hope he was good.
Just from
I
him
see
waking
fine
up and
every
wrestling around, kind of surprised that it wakes you up. What's your reaction?
Halfling, no more drinking.
Redbrand ruffians, open up!
Kind of stagger off the bed at least, that way I can get ready for what's ever going on.
About that time, the door just slams open. It smashes up against the wall. 4 Redbrands walk into the room.
Both of you state your names for the record.
Night Breeze? Regis.
The other one kind of, I know that happened. He can't be trusted.
Are you sure that's your name?
Hey, why do you
Racial
gotta
profile.
hit on my halfling friend over here?
Stay quiet.
What name would I have if not for my name? I have only one.
I'm gonna give him a smoldering stare.
They kind of look back at each other. Just come with us.
Am I being detained? Under what authority am I going with you?
You 2 are being arrested by the Redbrand ruffians on charges of disorderly conduct, unnatural union of races, and murder.
Step
Okay.
1, prove the union.
What
Step
do you
2,
know?
murder of who?
It's not up for debate. You need to come with us.
Oh, I beg to differ on that. Sleep.
One of them falls on the ground asleep. The other 3 come straight towards you. 2 different guys grab you. Only one of them grabs you. They're easily able to get you both under control. They do manage to get your weapons and armor off of you. They wrap these blindfolds around you and they tie rope around both your arms. And same thing, you're escorted very carefully down the stairs of Stonehill Inn, outside. Eventually, outside of the town, as you can tell just from what you hear around you, down a stone tunnel. And eventually, both of you are thrown into this room. You hear a cell door close behind you. And as soon as you manage to wiggle free of your blindfolds, you find Radgar there with you.
Hey, buddy. How you doing in here?
This went well.
I thought we murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Did you murder somebody?
No.
I don't remember murdering
I mean,
somebody.
the only thing I remember is somebody trying to murder us and we made it. Might have killed him back.
I woke up next to this guy.
Do you
I don't
that?
remember much.
You don't remember that in the bar?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we got
I
hit
remember-
first.
I remember one fancy spell flinger didn't live out the night.
Yeah, but that's not murder, right? We don't. I mean, technically it's murder, but we were provoked.
I'd call it.
I mean, when you
self-defense.
jump on our table and shoot magic missiles at us, I think we have the right to kind of
Yeah.
poke back,
Well, hopefully we'll
find out more, maybe.
plead our case.
Just barely starting to come to, you open your eyes and you were kind of slouched down. You look at yourself and you just see yourself dressed in your finest clothes that you brought with you. And everything's kind of blurry as you wipe your eyes. You see yourself sitting in Stonehill Inn, kind of looking around. and the door opens, and you see Sister Gariel step in to greet you. She kind of walks in, and she has the smile on her face. She says, I was told by the town folk I might find you here.
Too much air.
Immediately, 2 Redbrands storm in behind her, nearly knocking her over. They both approach you, and one of them says,
State your name for the record.
Marcon Domine, not Domine, Domine.
the other
Those
says,
are very different groups.
the other says,
You're under arrest on charges of dispatching harmful evocations in public, disorderly conduct, and murder.
Do you realize who I am?
Marcon Domini.
Well, congratulations. You got the name right. Something.
Are
Would
you
someone
cooperating?
please give me a pot of tea?
Are you cooperating?
I haven't cooperated or uncooperated yet. I believe I've been sitting here.
at this point, they start to grab you and stand you up. Are you resisting? You start kind of just spinning your hands, getting ready to cast a spell. And immediately one of the Redbrands says, he's casting, and the other one just grabs your hand and stops you. And they just both hold you down as they continue disarming you and restraining you. And eventually, same thing, they walk you out of Stonehill Inn. Which you would have just seen these two get walked down. Oh, that's strange. Wonder what they're getting arrested for. And then immediately happens to you. Walked out of the tavern, eventually out of town, through the wilderness, through this stone tunnel, around a couple corners, thrown into the cell with the rest of them. They were kind of going around getting all you guys around the same time. You're all being thrown into the cell within a matter of minutes of each other. What you see is about a 15 foot this way, about 10 feet this way to the bars. And then after that, there's about another 15 by 15 foot square. And then another set of bars. And then another little section just like the one you're in on the other side of this room.
Okay.
And right now, there's several guards just kind of shuffling around here. One of them happens to be a halfling. And
The halfling does he have a weapon on his belt? Or I'm just gonna cast lightning attack.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like,
I'm just gonna start juggling fireballs.
Or like cast dancing lights as a humanoid.
Yeah, I create an illusory disco ball at the top of the cell, casting off little shards of light in every direction.
you two do over here, one of them whispering to the other one, don't worry about that. We've seen a lot more powerful magic. Reba and Ball, you wake up first and immediately just find yourself in this garden covered in hives, and you see Ball laying right next to you.
So I'll
Please,
inspect
round
my
week.
wounds. Wake up! What do we do? What's going on? Why am I itchy? I have no idea. We roll around in this leaves.
About that time, from a distance, you guys see 4 Redbrands approaching you.
Get
So
from where I am to the
yeah, so
main
you guys
road
get
or
about to
whatever.
the edge of the large orchard that you're in here, and about this time, you're meeting face to face with these 4 Redbrands, and one of them says,
State your names for the record.
Well, what can I do for you? Susan McGee.
"You two are under arrest on charges of trespassing, disorderly conduct, and murder.
Murder? Murder? What are you talking about? Murder? Who would murder?
This isn't a discussion. This
Yes,
time
it
you need to
is.
come with us."
It's clearly a discussion because I want to know who we murdered before I move anywhere.
All 4 of them begin closing in on you from either side, just easily grabbing you. You actually manage to slip right out from between the 2 that try to grab you.
Let go of her. Do you know who I am?
Immediately, Susan McGee! Both begin closing in on you again. They manage to strip you of your weapons and any armor. They blindfold you guys and tie both your hands at the wrist behind your back.
Can I try to kick one of them in the groin?
Yeah, you miss. You can't see anything, but from what you can hear, you can tell you're being walked out of the town square, eventually out of the town entirely, through the wilderness, through this kind of stone tunnel, and then into a much larger room as you're pushed around a couple corners, and eventually thrown into a cell. Right before they throw you in the cell, they do take your restraints and your blindfolds off.
They tell you guys you murdered somebody too?
Yeah, they say it's alleged.
I
Who
think
the hell
that
did we murder?
I think that wizard may have had some friends who were misinformed of the nature of the law, but some friends.
The wizard is nothing but dust.
Like,
Where'd
I
you guys
will
all
meet
wake
you.
up? We woke up in a bush itching as hell.
Just kind of turn over.
Don't worry about it.
All these different guards that brought you guys in are just kind of shuffling around this room. Eventually, they all look at the smaller Redbrand. He's a halfling. Good on guard duty for a while.
Sure.
All right, we'll leave you to it.
What's in it for me?
5 gold.
I got 3 on it.
I will add 13 flat out.
Alright. I'm just pinky promise. I'm gonna leave the room.
I got plan B.
What were you using?
Broken dagger.
Oh, your broken
Give me a
dagger.
piece of the broken dagger.
Yeah, dagger's too big to fit in the lock. As you're messing with it, you do see the door to this room swing back open, and this halfling just and he's lugging 6 different bags into this room. Opens his hand with 21 gold in it and clasps it and sticks it back in his pocket.
I'm gonna toss the key inside the cell.
And there's more missing. You're gonna be accordingly.
The door swings open.
What about us?
Felix unlocks your door.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna check my gold.
We're gonna make our way out of here. We're gonna head to the exit. But as you leave the room, you have to say Elifarn.
Elifarn is the name of the ancient elven language. Like, elves don't even speak this language anymore.
Elifarn!
I put my armor and all that on.
Yeah.
I picked up my stick.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna walk outside the room and watch them.
I whispered to you. What were you going to tell them you were? I forgot. Good friends with the lion. So really, what were you going to say? We're both elves. Let me just say I've never left the Neverwinter Wood until recently.
Elifarn.
Where are we going, halfling?
I think he has a name. What's your name? Do you have a name?
Milo.
Milo, what's the way out?
What you immediately
That's why
see
you're called Markov.
is this room's a lot larger than the room you were just in with the cells. You see 3 sarcophagus on kind of these large stone stands. The walls of this room, you can kind of see where the divots on the side, it's basically just faux columns for decoration.
Or something.
Those double doors down there are kind of, that you can tell they used to be copper, but they're so old they're starting to turn green.
You want to help me check this sarcophagus?
Yeah, let's
No.
Well, hold on. You know, it might not be a good idea to desecrate graves in case these are like nobles or something.
It's for science, man. It's for
It's
science.
Funny
Let's leave it
pronunciation.
alone in case it's something that
It's a trap.
exactly.
Hey, anything
I
in the
don't-
sarcophagi we need to know about?
No, they're empty. They're full of dirt. That's how we smuggled all the dirt out of our tunnel.
Tunnel?
Hmm.
So do we pass from this room? What are we doing?
We're gonna head to
Where are
the
you
single
guiding
door.
us?
You don't want to go to the double doors. They're
Why
trapped.
not?
They're trapped.
What's behind the doors?
It's a trapped hallway.
It's a trapped hallway, but what's behind the trapped hallway?
It's a room, but it's almost empty. So we're gonna take the single door to the armory.
Very short 15-foot hallway here leads to a door on the right.
And try to pick a lock.
Door swings open.
Commented on the
As you
arms.
step inside, what you see is just large weapon racks filled with weapons and ammunition. Specifically, there are 12 spears, 6 short swords, 4 long swords, 6 light crossbows, 8 quivers with 20 bolts each, and 12 red cloaks.
Grab a red cloak.
Grab a red
Yeah,
cloak.
grab a red cloak.
I say we just arm up like we're some guards. And just,
Yeah,
we
grab
walk out of here.
There's 7 quivers now.
a long sword.
You guys said y'all seen more powerful magic. Who was the mage?
The mage died.
Did we off?
Oh, we just murked the leader of the Redbrand ruffians.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the secret door.
So directly opposite from the door of the armory in this skinny little hallway, you just see him shove on what appears to be a stone wall, and it just scream open on a set of hinges.
Why are we missing someone?
Was that 6?
You, on the other hand, were taken into the town master's hall, along with the town master and these 2 red brands. And he finally does sit you down around this little table, and the 2 red brands are still there as well. And he says, Fireforge, right?
Yes.
Describe to me in very specific detail what you remember of last night.
Well, last night when we got back into town, we made our way to the inn, and we were talking to the innkeeper, and he said something I forgot what he was talking about. A lot of drinking. I ended up throwing a satchel full of gold down and said drinks are on the house. And then I got drunk. I don't really remember much else. I don't know what my colleagues were up to. Not entirely sure what's going on.
You don't remember seeing a man in blue robes in the tavern last night?
Man in the blue robes. No. I'm thinking robes means magic. I only remember my wizard friend and my cleric friends. That's all I remember of those.
The town master looks at one of the Redbrands and he says, "You're sure the Tolman told you he was there?" He says, "Yes, the dwarf matching his description was there, for certain."
Oh, of course I was there. I was drinking. I'm not going to deny I was at the tavern getting drunk.
A man was murdered in Stonehill Inn last night. Your lot was one of very few who were seen there.
Oh man, I must have drank a lot.
If you can't recall last night's events, then you can't tell me with any certainty that you didn't take part.
No, well, like I said,
I were looking that you definitely did have some signs of a struggle when you woke up this morning.
Well, yeah, I woke up in a ditch. So, like, I'm pretty sure I had my fill, left, probably fell, and made my way to the ditch. Oh man, I just remembered I had my own room. You know, I should have stayed in my own room.
It's clear to me at this point we have a lot of investigation to carry on, but at this point, you understand we're going to have to hold you for the time being.
Yeah.
Very well. Take him away, man.
I'm going to stand up like, you're not going to cuff me. I'll stay here. At least I know if I'm here, I'm safe.
I'm afraid that's not possible. And at this point, both the Redbrands on either side of you do manage to get free of them.
Like they're grabbing onto my arms, and I'm just going like clunk them together.
Slam them together.
Listen, I'm staying here. I'm sent here from Neverwinter. There's something going on. I'm going to find out what's going on. I did not murder any soul last night. I will help you find out who did, but I am not going to be placed under arrest. So I'm going to pull out my axe, defensive stance.
Pulls two short swords out of these sheaths that they're in. You dodge under the first sword. The second one he manages to stick into your chest. The second one charges up beside you. They actually both swung high with one sword. You ducked under both of those. He actually slashed across your back.
Swing at the first one.
Yeah, you swing at one, the one to your left, and he kind of jumps back. You just barely make a small cut across his chest. However, as you just continue your swing all the way across, the other one, you make a nice gash into his side. And you see him fall to the ground next to you and sticks a scimitar into your side. The other one gets up off the ground, takes a useless swipe into the air, but it doesn't come anywhere near you.
Go right back to the first guy.
Right after he sticks you with his scimitar, you just come straight back at him and cut into his shoulder.
Listen, this can keep going, and you're going to end up dead, or we can stop this petty fight, and I can help you figure out what's going on.
The one with the scimitar just barely, kind of already sticking into you, just drives it in even further. Meanwhile, you feel another scimitar slash across your ankle. So that at least knocks you prone. The townmaster is not acting at all. He's actually looking very terrified, backing himself into a corner just with an expression of horror on his face. He's definitely not down with what's happening.
You're going to sit here and let them destroy a Neverwinter guard. And you know the repercussions of that. You can stop this.
I can't. There's too many of them. They're too powerful.
I will help you stop this. Just attack. Stand up and attack.
You swing your battle axe, and he just manages to get a scimitar up in time. The one that just blocked your attack and the other one both spin their blades and go to stab at you again, but you're able to dodge both.
I turn the double axe, so I turn it broadside and just.
The other one at this point, he's swinging at you with both scimitars, but just kind of the shock of seeing his comrade fall all of a sudden, he just doesn't focus on his aim enough, and you're able to easily jump out of the way.
I'm going to look at him right before I swing, like, you could have ran, just Louisville slugger him.
Both of them are now knocked out. The town master looks at you and he's just horrified. This isn't good. You shouldn't have done that.
They're lucky I didn't kill them.
You realize there's going to be a retaliation now, not just against you. I'm impeded here too. The whole town is.
We will protect you. You need to tell us what's going on.
Suppose it can't be helped. Give you the location of their hideout. You're my only hope.
Bandages, antidotes, healing potions.
I do have a healing potion.
We'll take it.
He doesn't go with you, but he does give you a very detailed map that you're confident you can use to find the hideout. Cutting back to here, stone walls carved very nicely and neatly. Lots of crates and barrels stacked up here. But what you do notice is one wall, there's just a huge rough cutout, whereas the rest of this has been carved perfectly into nice, neat walls. And this huge cutout of the wall just leads to a large, open, natural cavern.
I'll go first.
You guys can search the crates if you want, but it's just building material.
First, I want to check the tracks.
There's footprints all over this cavern. You know, some leading this way, some leading that way. There's fresh tracks, old tracks. It's just they're everywhere. Just as you step into this room, you can actually see across the room. Ulrich is making his way in. At this time, you guys immediately just kind of hear this.
Yes.
You see these two creatures clamber up to the top of this crevice. They clamber up really fast, but as soon as they get to the top, they just kind of stop. And Ulrich, you see this one closest to you just open its eyes. Meanwhile, the other one is staring straight at Bars. They both just seem kind of like they're hesitating. They're almost waiting for something.
We all give or offer them meat.
I'm gonna throw a hand axe. Don't looking at me.
Your hand axe just immediately connects with his eye, and you see both of them immediately just release this horrific growl, and they both start charging straight towards you guys.
I'm going to try the longbow.
Release your arrow. It raises up its arm, sticks into its arm. You hear
right now,
cry out in pain.
I'm gonna throw the other hand axe at it.
Once again, you throw another hand axe, and it raises up its arm just at the last minute. Your hand axe sticks into its arm, and you hear.
I'm going to use the short bow.
You fire a short bow at it, and you see it just kind of stick into this thing's shoulder, and you can just very clearly tell it's making eye contact with you and recognizing you. You just all of a sudden just feel this sickening kind of just coming from your heart. You feel like the inside of you is almost rotting away. You fall to the ground.
You just keep
I'm
rolling
gonna
back.
cast
and go
Sacred
another.
Flame. It's just like a bubble of radiant energy
Just casting from your arm to him.
from me.
I'm going to throw 100's mark at the one in front of me right here. Unleash my longbow on the guy. I'm going to draw my arrow back, and I kind of just cast my eyes onto him and give him a good old smolder.
Sticks into his chest, and
I shot at Mars. Him up, and then I shoot a crossbow bolt off.
you fire a crossbow bolt right over its head and see it stick into the cavern wall somewhere. Right after you stick this one with an arrow, it charges straight up to you and just holds out both of these claws with these large talons, sinks both of them into your shoulder.
We'll do the missiles.
So you hold out your arm and cast these 3 missiles, and Varus, you see 2 of them connect with this beast right after it slashes you, and it kind of slams up against the wall. And this other one, you just see it knock back a couple steps, and it kind of. You fire your light crossbow, Varus, right between you and this creature. You just see a crossbow bolt, and it just sticks into the cavern wall.
I'm gonna try another.
Yeah, it sticks into that column right behind it as you kind of ducks under it. You charge up to him, drawing your battle axe. As you charge up to him, you just kind of swing it wide horizontally, and he leaps backwards, but it still makes a very deep cut, just kind of, as he's jumping back, you twist your axe and just kind of a diagonal cut across his chest, and you just see this green, thick, oozy, kind of jelly-like blood coming from it. As your arrow sticks into this creature, you do see it kind of take a couple steps back, and it just seems like its motions are getting a lot slower and a lot more pain, it actually does fall to the ground.
Yeah, I'll hide behind him.
Ulrich, having necrotic damage.
I run and I say, in the name of Tempest, damn you! And I go and I slash down my first attack, and then flip the sword around, and then stab back down.
You just see its limbs kind of stretch out.
Then I get the hunter's mark the other. As he's staring at Ulrich, I'm gonna kind of whistle a little bit right after I hunter's mark him. That way he's looking at me. And I'm just gonna draw back my bow with everything I got and unleash it right into that freaking yellow eye.
Falls to the ground right in front of you, Ulrich.
I walk up to Milo and cast Cure Wounds.
Cure wounds on this man.
What's up, guys? Who's this guy?
He's one of these guys.
We haven't known him
I
yet.
facilitated our escape.
All right, where to next?
We have the option. We can leave or we can go try to find the lead. Actually, we're gonna go to the pool room.
Why
What?
pull him?
It's got the supplies in it.
That's
This hallway that it leads you guys around, it kind of goes around this corner here, and it looks like it just leads to another dead end. But once again, Milo just pushes on this stone wall, revealing that it's actually a door. You guys can tell that for such a dungeon that seems to be so old and decrepit, this is very clean water.
Had to go.
I'm gonna drink the water. Tastes like water.
All right, I'm just on my water skin.
As you're filling your water skin, you notice that on the wall of the cistern that's kind of to your left, the water is really clear, so you can just barely tell that 2 feet under the surface of the water, there's a rope with a bag tied to it.
All right, well, I'll grab.
The first thing you notice is nothing really happens, but this bag seems almost completely dry, like it wasn't even submerged in the water just now.
It's a dry bag.
Empty bag.
And water. Fascinating.
Detect magic?
Yeah.
The bag is magically waterproof. Opening the bag, you find a potion of healing. Another potion you've never seen before with just very clear liquid in it. 50 gold coins and a change of clean clothes. What you do see is these 2 stairways that lead up to kind of this little ledge that both lead up to this main doorway. The top ledge is about 20 feet above you guys. And there is another doorway right there under that ledge. This halfling brought you guys all of your belongings, but for some reason your staff wasn't there.
Did you take any of our belongings at all?
Just the 21 gold I was offered.
Did you take anything of mine?
No, why would I? No. No, I didn't take nothing.
You stole my glass staff?
What? How did this get in here?
I've been watching him the whole time. He hasn't taken anything.
They must have mixed up the bag
What's
when they
going-
came from a
Oh, yeah. The weird clear potion, I believe, is an invisibility potion.
Oh, okay.
You guys want to leave? Or you want to kill people?
How many guards do you normally have on duty? Yeah, I'll do a little tracking down.
It looks like about an hour ago 6 people walked in there.
So, guys, I'm seeing about 6. That's 1 for 1, maybe 1 for 1.5. I think we have numbers here.
We're gonna eliminate this whole group.
Wait, I have a suggestion. Send in the guy in the red cloak to distract them and get their backs
All
turned.
or I could send them all out. We could just ambush them. You hide, you wait. After 2 or 3, you kill them, and then you push the doorway. I can take him with me. He'll be the new recruit. So
There's no way you're bringing in new recruits.
I like the idea of him going in, distracting them, kind of sneak in and catch them with their pants down, so to say.
While this is going on, can I listen at the door to see if there's commotion inside?
For there to be 6 people in there, it seems unnaturally silent on the other side of that door.
It's really quiet in there. Then maybe asleep. Then we can all just go in there and couldn't draw them.
I'm gonna enter the room solo to see what's going on.
You just barely creak open this door, and instantly everybody just sees him fall backwards to the ground, pelted with 5 arrows stuck into him. You are unconscious.
Not a lot.
He pulls out both of his short swords. He swings both of his short swords. You swing your battle axe, and all 3 of them just sing in the air. You're hiding behind the staircase.
Yeah.
Over. You don't even know where Ball went. You just see an arrow stick into this guy's shoulder, into the wall next to him, slips down to the ground and falls prone.
Fire.
You hold out this glass staff that you just recently acquired, and your firebolt shoots out of the end of this wand. You just see it connect with this Redbrand on the ground. It's You hear him cry out in pain as a flame across his chest, and then eventually withers away. He is still just barely attempting to push himself off the ground.
I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a longbow.
You stick him with the longbow, you just instantly see him fall to the ground. Same thing, not unconscious, still pushing himself to the ground, but bleeding profusely.
And we'll run up next to him Can't spare the dime. I'm gonna go to the one directly in front of me, and then bring my
Say cheese.
run my sword out.
Ah! The one on the ground in the back stands up.
What's happening?
Holds a light crossbow pointing at you. Sticks a bolt.
You can't wear chains now.
Grab a bolt sticks into the wall behind you, right over your head. It came from somewhere inside that doorway. You can't really tell where.
Possible for battle.
Marco fires out of the doorway, sticks into your chest. Firebolt. Hit the fucking roof.
I cast Vicious Mockery on him and say, "Hey, ugly, how's it feel to be a damn pincushion?"
You actually hear one of them say, "That one's got a mouth on him like our guy."
That's where he goes like this, looking at the other people. I take my axe, come up straight down on the skull.
Right through the middle of the throat and on the other side. Fireball.
You cast Firebolt. Just at the last minute, you actually see him kick the door closed, and the firebolt just all over the door.
I'm gonna take my torch, light it up, and hit the door with it.
The door begins slowly burning away.
I cast Shield of Faith on him, and I take one of my healing potions, and I pop it in
Milo, you suddenly wake up. This door that they were all behind, you just see this door slam open. And that's where we live.